Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Entitled Parents Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe, and help me get to my goal of 10,000 subscribers. In our first story, an entitled mother is selling a broken guitar. Let's jump right in. This story happened some years ago while I was living on the East Coast. I was driving back home from a friend's house and decided to take a detour through one of the more nicer neighborhoods because it was the beginning of fall and I'm just a sucker for the scenery. While driving, I just so happened to have found another thing that I go crazy for, a garage sale. With me having some money on hand, I decided that this was fate and pulled over to check it out. At first, I didn't really see anything special, just the kind of stuff you would expect to see at a garage sale. Old furniture, clothes, DVDs, and other small items. But then, in the corner of my eye, I saw something that I just didn't expect to see, a guitar. I went in for a closer look, expecting it to be some kind of cheap beginner guitar, the kind with a brand name you don't recognize. But no, what stood before me was an actual Gibson Les Paul. Side note, to those who don't know, Gibson is a very prestigious guitar brand name, and Les Paul is possibly their most famous model type. This model of guitar is legendary for being the weapon of choice amongst god-level rock stars. Example, Slash from Guns N' Roses or Ace Frehley from Kiss. Now, back to the story. She was beautiful, and yes, I refer to guitars as she. She was gold in color with white trim and looked kind of old but in really good condition. But what got me in an actual state of shock was the price tag. It said the price was $50. I couldn't help but think that the person selling this forgot to add another zero to the end of the price, as well as a 1 to the beginning. So I picked up the guitar and went up to the woman handling the sale to ask her about it. She didn't really look like a typical entitled parent, but her attitude and body language just radiated entitlement. It was like her aura was almost made out of pure smugness and hatred for the working class. Just by talking to her, I couldn't help but feel that she was the kind of soccer mom that you would expect to yell at the coach, as well as the referee, other parents, and maybe some kids, but I digress. Excuse me, ma'am, can I ask about this guitar? The price says it's $50, is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Well, that's an unusually good price. Is there a reason for that? Yes, it's broken. I figured someone could use it like a decoration in their man cave or something. Hearing that just broke my heart, but it also got me curious because I couldn't find anything physically wrong with the guitar. No cracks or any other signs of damage. I started asking more questions, thinking maybe I could fix her later. However, it was at this moment that any and all logic began to die and roll downhill away from me. Can I ask what's wrong with it? Yes, my baby can't play it. Excuse me? My son. He says it's unplayable. Oh, does he work with guitars like a technician or something? Oh no, he can't work. My baby is only 12. Hearing that stunned me for a quick second, but I then decided to try to give the benefit of the doubt. I don't know this kid, so maybe he is one of those young musical virtuosos who got accepted to Juilliard early or something. So I take it your son is musically talented. Oh, very much so. He plays that Guitar Hero game all the time. What? Oh, you know, that game where you play music. He's constantly playing that game and is always getting the high score on it. I kept a straight face, but my mind was turning into that meme of the woman trying to do math. So, because of that, you got him a guitar. Well, of course. When you have a child as gifted as mine, it's important that you nurture their gifts. So you think he knows what he's doing? He obviously knows what he's doing, so if he says it's broken, then it's broken. Listening to her talk made my brain hurt, but it also helped me decide to take the chance and buy the guitar. While paying, this woman went on a long, insane rant about how the guitar was actually a gift from the kid's late grandfather from the dad's side of the family, and how he must not like her son because he gave him an old hand-me-down guitar instead of a brand new one. Hearing all this legitimately upset me, but I just decided to keep my mouth shut and leave. After getting home, I immediately took the guitar, plugged her into my amp, retuned her, that was all the maintenance she needed, and played a few notes and chords. To my amazement, she sounded perfect. It felt as if her soul was singing the praises of freedom. I spent the rest of the day playing and tripping out that not only had I purchased my first ever Gibson Les Paul, but I also only paid $50. But the story doesn't end here. A few weeks later, I made a friend at a party who was an actual guitar technician. I told him my story and he said if I wanted, he could appraise my guitar for me and tell me her true value. I took him up on the offer and the results blew me away. It turns out my baby was a vintage Les Paul from 1973, retailing at well over $3,000. He then asked me if I were interested in selling, but I told him there was absolutely no way I'm ever letting go of her. But the story still doesn't end here. Shortly after getting my baby appraised, I get word from a friend who turns out works in the same office building with the husband of the entitled mother. She updates me about what she's learned, and apparently the entitled mother's husband is of course righteously pissed. It turns out not only did the entitled mother sell a very expensive guitar for just $50 that was a gift from his father to her spoiled kid, but she also sold it without him knowing. Not only that, my friend informs me that the entitled mother has also been looking for me. My friend tells me that the entitled mother wants to find me so she can demand the guitar back. Not offer to buy it or even pay back what I paid, she wants to demand that I give it back for free because apparently I scammed her out of a priceless family heirloom and robbed her child's ability to play music. My friend said she didn't say anything about her knowing me, but then asked me if I wanted her to say anything to them about who I was. I tell her absolutely not. If she wants a guitar, she can buy a new one with the money I gave her, just like she planned. And I agree that this guitar is a family heirloom, but it's my family heirloom. Sorry, entitled mother, but if it means anything, if you're reading this, I named her Karen. In story 2, an entitled mother says, "You are ruining my kid's Christmas." Not my story, but secondhand from my mother via selling stuff on Facebook swap group. While on the phone with my mom, she was telling me about how she is selling some of her old toys, decent condition and rare. She would rather them go to a collector of old toys and not a child, but if the parent chooses to buy them for their child, then they must pay full asking price. She isn't asking for a lot, about $50 in total for 8 toys. Set of trains, but were individually bought back in the day. One of them alone goes for $30 to $60 on eBay. Enter Emmy, an entitled mommy. Are these still for sale? Yes, they are $10 each individually or $50 for all. That's way too much for my child. Sorry, that's what I'm asking, and I'm in no rush to sell them. It's Christmas and the toys are old and played with already. I didn't get my kids gifts yet. I don't have work because of the pandemic. So you want me to just give them to you? I'd prefer these go to a collector. You can go to a resale shop and find toys super cheap. Plus, Christmas literally comes on the same time every year. Plan ahead next time, maybe. You're a witch. You're running my kids' Christmas. These toys are garbage. You can give them to me. They're not worth money. Yeah, I am a witch. I do not give a crap about your kid's Christmas. Maybe you should worry more about you being a crap parent who can't plan ahead than if I can make a buck off a 50-year-old toy train, eh? Merry Christmas! Since my mom is also the admin of the group, Emmy has been removed. There has been other complaints about her in the past, so this was the final straw. This is John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then please hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.